Good evening. The suspense over who's going to be the next Chief Minister of Karnataka continues. After the Congress's emphatic victory, it's now between DK Shivkumar, who you see over there meeting the party president Mallikarjun Kharge, and Mr. Siddaramaiah. DK Shivkumar, who has said that he is insistent on becoming, or given indicators that he is fairly keen on being Chief Minister, is being considered closely, but as is Mr. Siddaramaiah, there is no real clarity on where the Congress is going with this. Different leaders seem to have different suggestions, but at this stage, DK Shivkumar absolutely clear. I mean, that's what his supporters say, that he has done a lot of work for the party and he believes he should get that top post. So DK Shivkumar meeting Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge earlier today. That meeting is now over. Mr. Siddaramaiah now scheduled to meet Mr. Kharge, and they've all been meeting other leaders as well. Mr. Kharge has been meeting Rahul Gandhi, for example, among other leaders. But when will this decision happen? Because it's all very well to win elections, but governance is now the need of the hour. My colleague Ankit Tyagi joins us for more on this. So Ankit, is any decision likely today?
All indications are that by the end of the day, Vishnu, there could be an announcement as far as the Chief Minister of Karnataka is concerned. If not formally tonight, then maybe by tomorrow morning. But the Congress will wrap it up. They would not want to linger this decision on. But it's not going to be an easy decision by all accounts. And we've been talking on various factors on why this is not going to be an easy decision as far as the Congress party is concerned. The meeting of DK Shivkumar and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge now going on for the last 45 minutes or so. The man this time has sent out a very, very clear message. His loyalty to the party, which he keeps reiterating, cannot be taken for granted. But in the Congress leadership, the high command, including the president of the party, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, who hails from Karnataka, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, K.C. Venugopal, also, in fact, Randeep Singh Surjewala, who will play an important role because he was the General Secretary in charge of the party. There are preferences, likes and dislikes as well. So all that is being taken into account, whether Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and the others have agreed to a formula. And is this, at this meeting, he's trying to get Mr. DK Shivkumar to agree on that formula. That's going to be very, very important. What we also learn, Vishnu, is that Siddaramaiah, the other key contender, which many sources believe that is the front runner in the sense that he has more MLAs supporting him in the secret ballot that had taken place, is expected at 6 p.m. here. And then, of course, there could be either a joint or a one-on-one meeting as well. The vehicle in which Mr. DK Shivkumar had come is getting out. He's still inside, I can confirm that. So that means that Mr. DK Shivkumar, if there is going to be a joint meeting, then it is going to be, some time before Mr. DK Shivkumar does come out. But all that will be taken into account. By all accounts, what we know is that this possibly is the decisive meeting which has taken place with Mr. DK Shivkumar, followed up by a meeting with Mr. Siddaramaiah, who is at the ITC Moria Hotel and would be coming to 10 Rajaji Marg, where I am standing outside the residence of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge. And post that, it will be decided who then becomes the Chief Minister.
Okay, Ankit, I'm just interrupting you now because the images that I see on my screen right now are of Siddaramaiah, Mr. Siddaramaiah getting into his car. I think he was at the ITC hotel over here and is now presumably on his way to where you are right now. So it's a bit strange, Ankit, isn't it, that, sort of one senior leader meets and then the other one comes, and of course the two don't meet right now because it's a bit uncomfortable. Saurabh is at the ITC. Saurabh, go ahead.
Okay, DK Shivkumar is leaving at this moment. If you see these visuals at this moment, Mr. DK Shivkumar is leaving the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge. This is the car that he came in with. He's sitting right in the front on the passenger seat next to the driver. His meeting with Mallikarjun Kharge is over. The meeting, which started at about 5:17, is over at 6:04. So around about 45 minutes, 47 minutes is what Mr. DK Shivkumar, the time that he spent inside. There is not going to be a joint meeting, at least at this moment. Mr. Siddaramaiah is getting ready, and possibly Mr. Kharge wants to meet both of them him one-on-one. We'll try and see whether Mr. DK Shiv Kumar decides to speak at this moment, but he's completely surrounded by those cameras that you see around his vehicle. From here, he's going to Kaveri, the residence, the flat where his brother, who is the lone MLA of the Congress party from the state of Karnataka in 2019 resides. So he's on his way back there, and we are now waiting for Siddaramaiah to come in. But very interesting, his car is still being surrounded by many cameras, people, and media trying to get a reaction from him about what happened inside the meeting. We yet don't know if the formula, as we've been saying again and again, if the decision has been made, then this meeting would have been a very crucial meeting to bring Mr. DK Shiv Kumar on the consensus on board as far as that meeting is concerned. I still don't see him speaking to the press or the reporters, those who are trying to elicit a response from him, Vishnu. But I can confirm now, DK Shiv Kumar's meeting, a 45-minute long meeting with the president of the Congress party, Mallikarjun Kharge, is over, and 10 Rajaji Marg is now all set for Mr. Siddaramaiah to arrive.
All right, let's go straight across to my colleague Saurabh Shukla, who's outside the ITC Hotel. Give us an idea of what's happening there.
Vishnu, Siddaramaiah has just left for Rajaji Marg to meet Mallikarjun Kharge along with several other MLAs who are accompanying him, but they will not be allowed to go inside where Kharge is going to meet Siddaramaiah. So as Ankit was also rightly pointing out, decision has been made as DK Shiv Kumar has been vocal. Yesterday he was speaking to media personals. When he arrived in Delhi, he spoke with media personnel. In fact, when he reached Kaveri apartment at his brother's residence, there also he speak with the media personnel. But now when he is leaving out of Kharge's house, he is not speaking. So that says it all, I guess. But we have to wait for an official confirmation from party president Mallikarjun Kharge. Siddaramaiah was here. More than 20 MLAs from Kharge, from Karnataka, they had reached here along with Chief Whip of the party, and they held a meeting with Siddaramaiah, and Siddaramaiah clearly said that he will not speak with the media personals. He has left it to party high command. Siddaramaiah, who is 9-time MLA this time, he has won from Varuna constituency. He, during the campaign of Karnataka, clearly said, Vishnu, that it is going to be his last election. So that emotional pitch, and in that secret voting also, he has favor of more than 85 MLAs. So his position is strong. But party wanted to convince DK Shiv Kumar as well. Though DK Shiv Kumar has clearly said that he is not going to blackmail the party, though his role is also very important. He has faced ED, went to the jail, and in fact he had a good offer from BJP to join BJP, become deputy CM in Karnataka, and his brother was offered a union cabinet seat in union ministry, but he refused and he chose to be with Congress, so that his contribution is also there. But today, I think officially it will be announced, but party high command has decided in favor of Siddaramaiah, but we have to wait and watch. Now Siddaramaiah is almost reaching Rajaji Marg, where he will meet Kharge, and final decision will be made. And we have been clearly told by our top sources in Congress that Congress will decide by today evening anyhow, so they can do the swearing-in ceremony in Karnataka, and they don't want to linger it for long because they have to prepare for Lok Sabha election. As we have been reporting, Vishnu, that in last 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP had won 26 out of 28 Lok Sabha seats. So they are eyeing to perform well in Karnataka. That is why they have to keep their fort together. They want Siddaramaiah, they want DK Shiv Kumar, and they want party to be together to kind of get more seats in for Congress in Lok Sabha polls. So I think decision has been made. DK Shiv Kumar has been communicated that what decision High Command has taken for him and for Karnataka. I think now Siddaramaiah, after meeting with Siddaramaiah, Kharge will announce the party High Command's decision. Vishnu.
Okay. Ankit, let me come back to you. Is there a formula being worked out?
See, there will have to be. If, as we believe, if Mr. Siddaramaiah is made the Chief Minister, the party cannot ignore DK Shiv Kumar, that's for sure. In fact, what we are learning from our sources in the meeting with Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Kharge himself did mention more than once the contribution that Mr. DK Shiv Kumar has made, not only in running a successful campaign, getting the Congress party out of the situation where it was after the government, the change of the government, the situation it found itself with 78 seats in 2018, and then after the coalition government fell down, and the way he has worked, the resources that he has in fact put in as far as the party is concerned. The formula, possibly, there are multiple formulas, but what I believe Mr. DK Shiv Kumar will not want any other deputy chief minister if he is being made the deputy chief minister. So at least there is a clear role defining as far as the chief minister is concerned. Siddaramaiah, number one, and number two is Mr. DK Shiv Kumar. He wants to continue as the PCC chief. He will also, what we have been told, will be given choice of the two portfolios that he wants for himself, and at least 3 to 4 ministers of his choosing in the cabinet of Mr. Siddaramaiah as well. So Mr. DK Shiv Kumar will get a chunk of the new government formation, his say as far as the new government formation is concerned, and the party as the PCC chief will be fighting the next 2024 election under his leadership. That is something which we have been told. The other equation that could also be worked out is, 2.5 years as chief ministers, or 3 years, 2 years chief minister. That could also be given. But remember, the Congress party has already burnt its hand in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan with the half-half formula, and which has not been successfully, implemented there. So will Mr. DK Shiv Kumar agree to that or not? That is also something that we will have to wait and see. But what I believe is, no matter who becomes the chief minister, the deputy or the person who is left out at this moment, all indications are it will be Mr. Siddaramaiah as the chief minister, and Mr. DK Shiv Kumar will be compensated, will be in fact given a lot of say both in the cabinet and running the party in the state of Karnataka.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you both very much for being with us. We'll take a short break. In case you were wanting to know who's going to be the next Karnataka chief minister, you'll have to wait a little longer. Chances are it will be announced today, but that's after they go through this process at this stage. We'll take a short break, come back with more.
क्या चल रहा है?
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shobh, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं।
मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है।
डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो पूरा परिवार शिक्षित हो जाता है। विकास की खुशबू जन जन तक पहुंचेगी। आप सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं और आपका आशीर्वाद मांगता हूं। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, हम नए भारत को बनाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young. at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me. Welcome back. 3 people have been killed and 4 wounded after an explosion at an illegal firecracker factory in Bengal's East Midnapur district, according to police. The blast occurred in the factory in Egra. Plumes of grey smoke were seen after the explosion at the spot. People in the area helped to rush people who were affected. The injured have been taken to a nearby hospital. The BJP has demanded a probe, an NIA, National Investigating Agency probe, into this incident.
Because we are shocked. When a man was arrested and it was totally closed, and it is just border of Bengal and Odisha, a isolated place, and that man supplied the firecrackers to Bangladesh also, whatever I came to know, and Odisha also, and he has taken so many competition in Odisha also. So I think both the states have right to take action against him. It is not a matter of CPM, Congress or BJP or Trinamool. It's a matter of inhuman nature. And so we have to take serious action. If NIA want to take over the matter, we don't have any objection.
Well, yes, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, has responded. She has said if the BJP wants an NIA probe, I have no problem with it, but at the real culprits should be caught. That's the statement she made at a press conference a little while ago at the State Secretariat, Nobanno, where she addressed the issue. Now, the Chief Minister said that this man who was running this factory was arrested in 2022, but and also charge sheeted by the police, but he managed to get bail from court, and then of course he had started this factory again. She also laid the blame at the BJP's door, saying that the area, the panchayat is controlled by the BJP. It's it's an area that's out of the way, it's a little remote, and it's very close to the border with Odisha. So she said that this man, in all possibility, could have escaped to Odisha at this point. That's the police suspicion. The case has been handed over to the CID. 5 people have died, 7 are injured in hospital, but the scenes we saw in Egra were quite bad, with bodies strewn on the ground after this explosion. Locals also were angry with the police when the police reached the spot, and the police faced some local anger. The Chief Minister says the BJP has been instigating local, those behind this have been instigating the locals against the police. But again, in all of this, a political blame game has already started within hours of the incident. In fact, the Chief Minister saying that the BJP did not allow the police to function, and she's asking locals to let the police do their job. She's asking locals to let the fire brigade do their job, and she's saying it's a district of their leaders, obviously hinting at the BJP without naming them in that the context. But she of course, blaming the BJP. The BJP, meanwhile, is blaming the Trinamool Congress. Leaders like Shukanto Mojumdar, the state BJP president, have laid the blame at Mamata Banerjee's door, saying that she is the Home Minister of the state and she is responsible for law and order.
Well, preparations are on for the inauguration of the new Parliament House. It will be inaugurated with a grand event on the occasion of the completion of 9 years of the Modi government. The Prime Minister will be inaugurating the new Parliament House, possibly in the last week of this month. Although not officially confirmed yet, it is very likely that this could happen. Narendra Modi took the oath for the post of Prime Minister on the 26th of May 2014. There will be a new dress for marshals and employees of the new Parliament House. The National Institute of Fashion Technology has designed the new uniform. There'll be tighter and new security arrangements. There's a seating arrangement for 1,224 MPs in the 4-story parliament. The Prime Minister today distributed about 71,000 appointment letters to newly inducted recruits via video conferencing. Prime Minister Modi also addressed these appointees. The Rozgar Mela was held at 45 locations across the country. The recruitments are taking place across central government departments, and state governments and UTs are supporting this initiative.
विकास योजना के तहत अब तक 1.25 करोड़ से ज्यादा युवाओं को स्किल ट्रेनिंग भी दी गई है। साथियों, सरकार के इन प्रयासों से कितने ही नए सेक्टर्स में रोजगार के नए अवसर बन रहे हैं। मैं आपको सिर्फ एक उदाहरण देना चाहता हूं, ईपीएफओ का। अगर हम वर्ष 2018-19 के बाद के ईपीएफओ के नेट पेरोल के आंकड़ों को ही देखें तो 4.5 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोगों को फॉर्मल जॉब मिली हैं। एम्प्लॉय प्रोविडेंट फंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो पेरोल डाटा है, उसे साफ पता चलता है कि भारत में फॉर्मल जॉब में निरंतर वृद्धि हो रही है। फॉर्मल जॉब्स में इस वृद्धि के साथ ही देश में स्वरोजगार के मौके भी लगातार बढ़ रहे हैं। जिस स्पीड और स्केल पर आज भारत काम कर रहा है, यह भी आजादी के 75 साल के इतिहास में अभूतपूर्व है। 70 साल में भारत में सिर्फ 20,000 किलोमीटर के आसपास रेल लाइनों का इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन हुआ था, जबकि हमारी सरकार में बीते 9 साल में भारत में करीब करीब 40,000 किलोमीटर रेल लाइन का इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन हुआ है, यानी डबल। 2014 से पहले हमारे देश में हर महीने सिर्फ 600 मीटर नई मेट्रो लाइन बिछाई जा रही थी। आज भारत में हर महीने 6 किलोमीटर, उस समय हिसाब मीटर का था, आज हिसाब किलोमीटर का है। 6 किलोमीटर नई मेट्रो लाइन का काम पूरा हो रहा है। 2014 से पहले देश में 4 लाख किलोमीटर से भी कम ग्रामीण सड़कें थी। आज देश में 7.25 लाख किलोमीटर से भी ज्यादा ग्रामीण सड़कें हैं, ये भी करीब करीब डबल।
Well, returning now to our top story on who will be the new Chief Minister of Karnataka. Mr. Siddaramaiah, widely expected to be the next Chief Minister, has now arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress President. This after Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, who is also in the running, left after a meeting, but there is no clarity or announcement as yet. So that suspense continues. What exactly is the arrangement that the Congress is looking to work out? Because D.K. Shivkumar quite insistent that he wants to be chief minister. And he says he's got the support of Congress workers in the state. My colleague Ankit joins us now for more on this. So Ankit, Siddaramaiah there at the residence of Mr. Kharge. Could you again tell us a little bit about what the plan is as far as the thinking in the Congress is concerned?
Well, let me tell you, Vishnu, first that Mr. Siddaramaiah arrived about just 5 minutes back, and there is a difference in the way both these leaders did arrive. So, Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar, who was in here, left at 6:05, spent about 45 minutes with the party president, came alone, in one car. There were a pose of cars, and we believe that some MLAs of Karnataka Congress, newly elected MLAs of Karnataka Congress, also accompanied Mr. Siddaramaiah inside. So Siddaramaiah, a seasoned politician, also has come with some sort of supporters, key players as far as the government formation will be concerned. He's just gone inside. Now, what sources are telling us that this is where Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge will tell Mr. Siddaramaiah what the party high commands think, what are their expectations, what D.K. Shiv Kumar's expectations are, and then, of course, a formula and a balance would be struck between both these leaders before the announcement is made, which is most likely tonight itself. At what time, 8 or 9, is the speculative time that many are saying at this moment. But if there is an agreement, and if Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar has been conveyed what will be his role and what would he be getting if the Chief Minister is Mr. Siddaramaiah, and he has also agreed upon that, then of course the Congress party by evening today would be announcing in the next couple of hours who becomes the Chief Minister of Karnataka. But very important meeting which has now started at 10 Rajaji Marg here, the residence of the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. And just a little bit of trivia. Remember, both Mallikarjun Kharge and Siddaramaiah have been in a way competitors in the state politics of Karnataka. It was in 2013 when many believe that Mr. Siddaramaiah edged Mr. Kharge out for the post of the Chief Minister. How these equations play and things in politics change. This is a true example of that. The man who wanted the post of the Chief Minister and was in a similar situation like D.K. Shiv Kumar is in 2013 with Siddaramaiah, today has to decide whether Siddaramaiah gets that job or not. So these are very interesting dynamics, the wheels behind wheels that keep working on. But as far as the Congress top brass is concerned, as we were telling you earlier, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and K.C. Venugopal are possibly of the opinion, and that they have expressed this in a meeting with Mr. Kharge, that the man who has the support of the MLAs, the majority support of the MLAs, which we believe around 90 MLAs do support Mr. Siddaramaiah, he should be made the Chief Minister. Meanwhile, Sonia Gandhi's equation with D.K. Shiv Kumar can also not be negated. Mr. Kharge's equation with both Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shiv Kumar will also play a role. And the General Secretary in charge of the Congress Party in Karnataka, Randeep Singh Surjewala, has not gone one way or the other. So these are the dynamics that the Congress President is trying to maneuver at this moment. And most likely, at the end of the day, the new Chief Minister of Karnataka will be announced.
All right, thanks very much for sharing those details with us. We're going to take a short break at this stage, keep you posted with what's happening on that selection of the next Chief Minister of Karnataka. But there's also a lot of other news coming in. We'll be tracking those stories very closely.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है।
डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो पूरा परिवार शिक्षित हो जाता है। विकास की खुशबू जन जन तक पहुंचेगी।
आप सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं और आपका आशीर्वाद मांगता हूं।
सबका साथ, सबका विकास, हम नए भारत को बनाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shobh, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है।
डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो पूरा परिवार शिक्षित हो जाता है। विकास की खुशबू जन जन तक पहुँचेगी। आप सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ और आपका आशीर्वाद मांगता हूँ। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, हम नए भारत को बनाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shobh, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है। डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो
Welcome back. World over, people are increasingly getting off sugar consumption based on research. But if you're using non-sugar sweeteners in a bid to lose weight or reduce the risk of some diseases, do think again. The World Health Organization has warned about artificial sweeteners linking non-sugar sweeteners to diabetes and even death, as my colleague Padmeshwar Bawa reports.
Consumers who opt for diet products such as sugar-free sodas might not be doing themselves any favors, according to the latest guidelines published by the World Health Organization. These alternatives to sugar, when consumed long-term, do not serve to reduce body fat in either adults or children, the WHO has said in a recommendation, adding that continued consumption could increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease and mortality in adults. It recommends that people avoid non-sugar sweeteners like aspartame or stevia to lose weight or prevent diet-related diseases such as type 2 diabetes. Instead, they should consider eating foods with naturally occurring sugars such as fruit, as well as unsweetened foods and drinks is what the WHO has emphasized. They've also added that the recommendation is based on long-term observational studies which found that people who consume sugar alternatives were at higher risk of obesity and cardiovascular diseases. But it's crucial to note, however, the World Health Organization also noted that in short-term randomized clinical trials, sweeteners were linked to weight loss when compared with people consuming sugar. The recommendation came with a caveat that it was based on a low level of certainty. One possible confounding effect could be that people who eat and drink food products that contain sweeteners could be more at risk for obesity or diabetes in the first place and be using them to control their weight gain. However, the WHO has also noted that studies continue to find a link between non-sugar sweeteners and negative health effects, even when controlling for this possibility. On the flip side, though, there are many who argue that if you look at what's driving chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes and obesity, sugar is not always the only factor. The WHO therefore says its recommendation is currently considered conditional. But how does this directly impact us? Well, the recommendation from the WHO does not directly affect any individual country's policy. The US Food and Drug Administration, for example, might take this guidance into account and institute its own concerns or tweak labeling. But under no circumstance is it an obligation to do so. Also, this recommendation doesn't extend as far as personal care and hygiene products that include artificial sugars are concerned. This could be toothpaste, skin creams, or even medication. It also doesn't include low-calorie sugars and sugar alcohols, which, as you know, come from sugar itself. But relying on the latest guidelines published by the World Health Organization, you might want to rethink that diet soda.
Well, the latest on the tech layoffs, Amazon has laid off about 500 employees in India across different verticals, according to sources. The fresh round of downsizing is part of the broader layoffs announced by the CEO, Andy Jassy, in March, affecting approximately 9,000 employees.
Amazon India is laying off around 500 employees. NDTV has learned that the process of layoffs is ongoing and employees from Amazon Web Services, human resources and support functions are being laid off. The layoffs are part of the 9,000 jobs cut announcement that was made in March 2023. Remember, in March, Amazon had revealed its plans to cut around 9,000 jobs from its cloud services and advertising divisions on back of recession fears. Amazon has also said that the decision for these layoffs has been taken to streamline costs and headcount on back of global economic uncertainty. Sources have told NDTV that some of these employees are part of global teams working out of India. However, it is important to remember that the reasons for these layoffs remain the same as for many other tech giants, that of overhiring and higher expectations for IT solutions during the pandemic, and now the reality on the ground for this sector looking very different, with some of these roles being completely redundant altogether.
Well, earlier we spoke to the Foundit.in CEO who said that the nature of jobs will change. However, jobs will remain and the need of the hour is to upskill and reskill, particularly in the IT sector.
There is going to be a greater challenge in terms of expectation from professionals to reskill and upskill themselves, right? That's the name of the game. And I think we've seen these trends happen in the past, only that this time it's going to be much faster and probably more disruptive. So I think proactively people acquiring those skills is going to be very, very important to kind of future-proof their careers.
The National Gallery of Modern Arts in Delhi is holding an exhibition called Jan Shakti, a collective power, which is based on the Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat themes. The Prime Minister visited the exhibition and complimented the creative work showcased. Here's a virtual tour for all of you.
To To my eyes, it looks like water flowing, and that is what the artist wanted to achieve with this installation. The theme is flow, and what you see are ghungroos, ankle bells, and also sediments collected from the river beds. We are coming to you from NGMA, that's National Gallery of Modern Art, and there are 12 very important national themes which have inspired the art installations here. And I want you to meet someone who's curated this with a lot of precision. Dr. Alka Pandey, a very warm welcome to NDTV, and absolutely great job curating whatever we have seen.
Thank you so much.
Which are these 12 themes that you're working on?
So this actually emerges from the 100th episode of Man Ki Baat by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
And if you can take us through flow. Of course, we're talking about water conservation here, and these are ghungroos and ankle bells, as I mentioned. A beautiful art installation, but tell us about the artist and the thought behind it.
So Vibha Galhotra is a young woman working on the theme of water conservation for the last 10 years. She uses a very, very beautiful material which is used more in dance, the ankle bells. But here she's subverting the sound, and what she's doing is she's taking the beauty, the texture, the luminosity of the ghungroos, again subverting them and showing the sediment, the topography and the amount of sediments in the river.
Yeah, interestingly, every room has an audio-visual setup where you can wear the headphones and know the story of the artist and the thought behind the art as well. And in this video, you are going to see now the next art installation.
This is another very interesting artist. I've known him for a long, long time. His name is Jagannath Panda. He belongs to Orissa. The different kind of fabrics he's used, from what we call the beautiful Seven Sisters, the eighth Sikkim is known as the brother, and that's why the 8 states now. But what you see, the identity, and if you go deeper into it, he has sourced materials from each of these 7 states and has brought in an identity and the celebration of the 7 states through the warp and weft of the material.
This fabric, this color, immediately reminds you of the Northeast. So that's the beauty of art installations here. So thank you so very much for creating this, and of course touching upon these 12 really important themes.
It has been an incredibly wonderful learning experience for me as well. And I'm really delighted that I was given this opportunity to bring text, image, ideas together in an organic whole.
Thank you so very much. With camera person Rakesh Singh, Arun Singh for NDTV.
Well, it's time now for us to take a short break. More coming up.
नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है। डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है।
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united Well, with heat waves and record temperatures expected this year across states, multiple studies suggest that cities are hotter than the areas around them. The developed parts of cities increase their temperatures, and those who work outdoors have to bear the brunt of it. Here's a report on the unequal distribution of climate change and how development is making our cities hotter.
The unequal distribution of climate change. The AC buildings protecting people from the heat while making our cities hotter for those who can't afford to stay indoors. 45-year-old Hirabai, one of those building the city's air-conditioned structures in the national capital, herself has to spend the day under the sun for a pittance of 250 rupees a day.
कभी-कभी चक्कर आ जाते हैं, कभी-कभी ऐसा लगता है कि मन नहीं होता काम करने का, फिर भी मजदूरी में करने पड़ता है। गर्मी में हमारे पास तो कोई पंखा कूलर तो है नहीं, पूरा रात अपने ऐसे लगता है, बच्चन को भी हवा डुलाते हैं, हमको भी अगर डुला लो तो नींद आ गई तो मच्छर भी अलग से खाते हैं। गरीब आदमी को तो क्या होता है, कुछ नहीं है मैडम।
Those working on the streets are facing the unseen disadvantages of our mega cities. While climate change hits the entire world, a report by the Center for Science and Environment says that the impact is exacerbated in cities due to unsustainable development.
Last year we noticed that in Delhi, the temperature within the city was almost 5 to 8 degrees higher than the surrounding rural areas. And on certain days, which were the heat wave days, it can go up till 10 and 12 degrees within the cities. The cities are the smaller version of it. So it's a global warming within the global warming. That's why we call it urban heat island. So of course there is more pollution within the cities, there's higher carbon dioxide. So whatever heat comes during the day and hits the ground and gets trapped in the city, ideally should get radiated back into the atmosphere at the night. But because of increased pollution and also higher amount of greenhouse gases in the city, this heat, instead of going back into the space, gets trapped inside the city and remains in the city.
This trapped heat is turning Indian cities into heat chambers called urban heat islands. And the impact is not limited to just discomfort. A report by the University of Cambridge says that abnormal temperature rises from climate change could severely impact over 90% of Indians, making them vulnerable to public health issues and food shortages. The health impacts are already clear.
तब भी उतनी गर्मी नहीं रहती थी, तब तो कहते हैं ना पेड़ पौधा था, उस टाइम थोड़ा बहुत छाया था, वो करते थे, हम उसी में बैठते रहते थे, कभी 10-15 मिनट ठेली चलाते हैं, फिर थोड़ा आराम कर लेते हैं, फिर चलते हैं।
हमारे पे पड़ता है ना गर्मी का असर, तो एसी में रहते हैं, हमारे को गर्मी का असर पड़ता है, हम धूप में रहते हैं तो हमें असर पड़ता है। परेशानी यही है, चक्कर आता है, मिनट में पानी पीना पड़ता है, कि एक सवारी उठाता पानी पीना पड़ता है, धूप ज़्यादा लगती है, भूख लगती नहीं है।
Despite record-breaking temperatures and heat waves being predicted, Delhi still doesn't have a heat action plan. The capital city's environment minister says there are no specific plans to tackle heat in the government's so-called summer action plan.
बहुत सारे एफर्ट हो रहे हैं, लेकिन उसमें ग्रीन बेल्ट को बढ़ाना सबसे कारगर उपाय है। दिल्ली के अंदर जो मानक हैं, उस मानक के हिसाब से दिल्ली का ग्रीन बेल्ट 20% होना चाहिए, जो इसका क्षेत्रफल है उसके अनुसार। आज अपने मानक से 20% से बढ़ करके 23% ग्रीन बेल्ट हो चुका है। अगर हम देखें तो इनडायरेक्ट जो ग्रीन बेल्ट बढ़ाने का जो मिशन है, वो हीट को कम करने का ही मिशन है।
Experts stress on the need for a heat action plan, pointing to basic engineering changes that don't even demand an additional investment.
Industrial areas or the factories and all, which are burning furnaces and all, they produce a lot of heat, which also impacts the heat in that region. Similarly, in housing colonies and all, which uses a lot of air conditioning, the air conditioner throws out a lot of heat in the neighboring area, which also increases the temperature. In fact, air conditioning itself can raise the temperature by 2 degrees of the region.
Though the impacts of development in our mega cities such as Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad and Kolkata cannot be fully reversed, those left without an option look for a shade of relief. Keeping their passengers under shade, these rickshaw pullers work in the scorching heat themselves, representing the unequal distribution of climate change. While the developed parts of our cities are responsible for making them hotter, the true impact of the heat is not felt by the people sitting in these paths. The urban heat islands hurt those the most who didn't have a role in creating them. In New Delhi, with camera person Joseph and Sudesh Kumar Ram, Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.
Well, the great climate change challenge is now open, and we are looking to connect with social entrepreneurs, tech innovators, NGOs, young scientists and students. If you are a climate change warrior or know someone who is doing incredible work in this space, send us your entries to ndtv.com/climate change, and we'll bring you some of the most innovative stories to the world.
नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है। डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो पूरा परिवार शिक्षित हो जाता है। विकास की खुशबू जन जन तक पहुंचेगी। आप सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं और आपका आशीर्वाद मांगता हूं। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, हम नए भारत को बनाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Raut, and the big political story of the hour: who will be the next Chief Minister of Karnataka? Now, a series of meetings have been taking place through the day. On your screens, you can see the two key meetings this evening, when Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge met first with DK Shiv Kumar, and he is now meeting with Mr. Siddaramaiah, both the front runners for the top job in Karnataka. So the Congress really trying to strike a balance as it decides on the chief ministership. According to our sources, it's Siddaramaiah who seems to be the front runner for chief ministership, but Mr. DK Shiv Kumar, who also is the Congress president in the state, who put in a lot of energy into this campaign, into the Congresses, and he's being credited significantly for the Congress's victory in the state, for the number of seats that they managed to get. He is someone who's also made it very clear that he does want the top job. So for the Congress, it's a delicate balancing act, and to arrive at a formula that will satisfy all. So that is the big challenge. Let's go across to Tanushri now for more. So Tanushri, a series of meetings. Mr. Shiv Kumar met with Mallikarjun Kharge earlier, and now the meeting with Siddaramaiah. What do we know at this point? Can we expect an announcement today, or will we have to wait till tomorrow?
Well, what we are hearing from our sources in the Congress party, that there might be an announcement late night today. But Congress definitely has a very, extremely, they have been put in a very extremely difficult situation, because on one hand, as you rightly mentioned, they have their foot soldier, DK Shiv Kumar, Mr. DK Shiv Kumar, who has been the Congress party president for Karnataka, and he has put in a lot of energy, enthusiasm, brought all the workers on the ground, built an entire team from the scratch, and especially at a time when they were fighting against a very against a very strong party, that is the Bharatiya Janata Party. On the other hand, the Congress has their masked leader, Siddaramaiah, who has been the Chief Minister of Karnataka. So it's a very, very difficult situation for the Congress to decide, especially at a time where a man who has an image to be, doing all the work from behind the scenes, Mr. DK Shiv Kumar, this time around, he is not letting it go without a fight. Though our sources are also telling us that Siddaramaiah is a clear front runner, because he has, Rahul Gandhi and entire party MLA's support is with Siddaramaiah. But DK Shiv Kumar is also a very loved leader. He is also someone who the party really, believes in, trusts. And that's why he's not letting it go without giving a tough fight. And very categorically, he told the media in the morning, Gargi, that I have given my everything to the Congress party. I've been with them through their thick and thin. I have built an entire army of people from the scratch. I did not even give in when there was huge pressure from the Bharatiya Janata Party when I was put in jail. So I deserve this post. I'm the right hand of this post. That's what he said, not in those many words. But his coming to the national capital, pressing for his demand is a statement in itself that he wants the top job in Karnataka. And I think that's what he has expressed to Kharge also when he met him personally. So let's see what DK Shiv Kumar now has to say. We will try and get in a word from him. But as of now, he's going to be staying put in Delhi, at least for tonight. But he has met Kharge. He has no plans of meeting Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi as of now. But clearly, it's Siddaramaiah versus DK Shivkumar, and none of them is letting it go, because DK Shivkumar has clarified that he is not going to let it go without giving a tough fight. So he wants to become the Chief Minister of Karnataka, and he has already been pressing for his demands, and he's going to do so in the future as well. So let's see. It's a very difficult position for the Congress. They have to decide by tonight, because the oath-taking ceremony has to take place from 2 to 3 days from now. So it's a difficult position for the Congress. So let's see what happens there.
Right. And Tanushree, another reason that, the Congress very keen to resolve this as fast as possible, we believe Rahul Gandhi also was insisting on that, is that already the supporters of both the leaders, you've seen them campaigning in the state, they're putting up posters of Mr. DK Shivkumar as Chief Minister, etc., and Siddaramaiah supporters separately. So the Congress is not keen on, letting this fester any longer.
Absolutely, because that also gives ammunition to the opposition party, and especially the Bharatiya Janata Party. Many of the spokespersons have already been tweeting Gargi, saying that now the rebellion and now the crack is wide open in the Congress party. So definitely Congress is not going to let it fester for long, because they do not want a wrong imagery to go after winning Karnataka with a clean sweep like Congress has done this time around. They are not going to let this decision give any opposition party any kind of ammunition against them. That's why it's a even more difficult position for Congress to be in, because now they have to not they are in no position to upset anyone, be it Siddaramaiah, be it Mr. DK Shivkumar. Also, they have a major responsibility in hand for not let opposition question them over some kind of rebellion they are facing in their party. So yes, it is a difficult situation, and I am sure Congress has a plan B in their hand, as far as if both the parties, both the fractions are not taking a step back, they are not letting it go, they are pressing into their demand to get the top job in Karnataka, then the party top brass is in a difficult position, but they must be having a plan as to how to pacify the other contender who is not going to get this job.
Right, so that key formula, so that will be interesting to know what the Congress arrives at. Thanks so much, Tanushree, for joining us. With that, we'll of course return to you as we have more updates. So 2 key meetings have taken place between Mr. Kharge and the 2 contenders, and then another meeting we believe will take place, and then possibly a decision later today or perhaps tomorrow. Well, moving on now, we're away from politics to health news. And if you're using non-sugar sweeteners, that's NSS, in a bid to lose weight or reduce the risk of some diseases, well, then think again. Synthetic sweeteners are no different to sugar, and they don't help in losing weight, according to the latest report by the World Health Organization, and they might be doing more harm than good. All right, well, to talk more about this, we're now joined by Dr. Ambrish Mittal, Chairman Endocrinology and Diabetes Max Healthcare, and Dr. Subhash Wangnu, Head Obesity, Diabetes and Endocrinology, Apollo Hospital, New Delhi. Thank you so much, doctors, for joining us on the program. So first and foremost, Dr. Mittal, if you can explain this World Health Organization report, it must be of concern to many people, because, so many have for so many years been using these sweeteners.
So thank you for having me here. So over the years, there are numerous studies that have come out that have linked these artificial sweeteners, or non-sugar sweeteners as we call them, with various kinds of adverse outcomes. Now, the concept is that while these sweeteners are a good substitute for sugar in terms of taste, but they may not necessarily be accomplishing what they set out to do. So let me explain this, that in the case of diabetes, they will sort of take care of your sugar craving at that point, But if you're using them to really reduce calories, to try and lose weight, this recent analysis from the WHO, which included 283 studies, both randomized trials as well as observational studies, has shown that artificial sweeteners do not help non-diabetics in losing weight. In fact, there may be a slight increase in risk of diabetes, and some people have even suggested a risk of stroke and high blood pressure. So I think people who are using artificial sweeteners or non-sugar sweeteners in the hope of reducing their calories from sugar and therefore reducing their body weight, I think that needs to be looked at very carefully. In fact, they were never really supposed to be for weight reduction. They were only supposed to be for people with diabetes and try to sort of satisfy the sugar craving.
All right, but they have become a part of every, dieter's, what they eat and how they try and avoid sugar. Dr. Wangnu, and it's very concerning because we know that diabetes is such a huge problem in our country. And to now, realize that these and the NSS could actually be helping in, future development of diabetes.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. Dr. Mittal told about this evidence-based study, systemic review and the meta-analysis, and they have shown there's an increased risk of the development type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and increase in mortality in the adults. The reason being because people think that these NSS have some nutritional value, but they have no nutritional value, 0 calories, and the chemicals they have, like many of the beverages, they contain aspartame, like Coke Zero, the Pepsi Light, which are very toxic to the human being, and we don't know what damage they are causing. And the risk of developing diabetes, as already told very clearly, that there is no effect on the body fat in adults and as well as in children. And this was basically the news was broken by Francisco Branca, who is the WHO Director for the Nutrition and the Food Safety. So I'm sure most of the people who are banking upon the artificial sweetener in diabetes, we tell them it is better to have 1 or 2 crystals of the sugar rather than having the artificial NSS in your diet.
Dr. Wangnu, only those people who have diabetes should actually be, using these non-sugar sweeteners, because and they've not been a part of this study. So only those who have diabetes, since you have to avoid sugar, only those people should, occasionally use this.
No, usually as an endocrinologist, we don't tell the patient to use the artificial sweetener, because apart from the study which was done in a non-diabetic, what we have seen in our patient that having said that non-NSS, they tend to take ice creams with the artificial sweetener, they want to take sweets with the artificial sweetener, they want to take chocolate, that add on to the calories. So we in diabetes, we say strict no to the NSS, because that adversely impact their blood sugar, but they tend to eat everything which contains the NSS, and which is not true. So every diabetic, I avoid giving the NSS, particularly in children is a big no, in pregnant diabetes a big no, and in diabetes, unless they will start consuming so much of artificial sweetener-based beverages, cold drinks, sweets, ice cream. So this is very bad.
Right. So I guess I'll have to cut out my, no sugar ice cream right now. But Dr. Mittal, so what do you advise? And also, what about gourd and other, brown sugar, etc.? That still falls under sugar. So that's still something you can use. And perhaps this Indian habit of, giving our children milk with lots of sugar, 2 spoons of sugar, chai with 2 spoons of all this, we should now stop and inculcate good habits right from the start?
So firstly, natural sugar substitutes like jaggery, as you said, they're actually equally bad in terms of calories. So they may be having other constituents which may be good, like iron or something else. But the fact is that if you're advising your people with diabetes to substitute white sugar with these other sugars, natural sugars, that's not very wise, because they are the same.
No, I'm not advising anybody. I was just asking you for a clarification.
No, I'm just saying if one is advising. I didn't mean you.
Sure.
I'm thinking one is advising, naturally occurring sugars. Other than sugar, they are the same in terms of their calorie intake and in terms of... So I think that's important to understand. The other important point is I'm not as harsh as Dr. Wangnu on the use of artificial sweeteners. I do not recommend them. But if someone asks for them, I say you can have 1 or 2 a day, because the causality data showing clearly that using small amounts of these sweeteners results in adverse outcomes is a bit hazy. It's all association data, right? So therefore we say, yeah, you can have a little bit. The challenge you already outlined, that people think that then low calorie sweets or low calorie beverages they can have in any amount. And that becomes a big problem. The other thing which is very interesting is some of these among the non-sugar sweeteners, the artificial sweeteners, which are very sweet, aspartame and that whole group. Now, what happens is it is said that it trains the brain to not appreciate less sweet objects like fruits. So there are lots of things happening there. There are issues about insulin resistance. There are also issues about gut microbes. Now it is said that they can alter gut microbes. But having said that, all world organizations like the American Diabetes Association or European Association don't ban these for people with diabetes. They can be used in limited quantity. But yes, more and more data is coming, which tells us to be very cautious in using them in large amounts for prolonged periods.
All right, and I'm running out of time, but Dr. Wangnu, last comments on this issue?
Yes, absolutely. We said that you can allow 1 or 2, but my experience that if you allow a little bit, the patient go overboard. So I always tell them to be cautious. It is better not to have, and rather than be happy and not to have any long-term consequences.
Probably when you tell them just don't have, they probably have that 1 or 2 because you know how patients take things lightly.
If you tell them 1 or 2, they will start taking more.
Right, and very concerning because we know a lot of, cold drinks these days are, 0 calorie, no sugar. So that is something that people do tend to consume in large numbers, with every meal, Dr. Wangnu.
Toxic. I think I tell my patient to wash their toilet with those 0 sugar cold drinks. That is my sentence to them, and they just get baffled. Doc, what we are talking? This contains, this is a poison for you, what you are consuming. So a big no to all these beverages which contain the artificial NSSS.
All right. Well, thank you so much, doctors, for joining us. And a very important, guideline given out by the World Health Organization for people's, long-term health. And something they've also advised is that to, get used to not having sugar or less sugar. And that is something that should be inculcated from a young age. With that, we'll slip into a short break. More news on the other side.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है। डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो पूरा परिवार शिक्षित हो जाता है। विकास की खुशबू जन जन तक पहुंचेगी। आप सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं और आपका आशीर्वाद मांगता हूं। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, हम नए भारत को बनाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story. India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight.
This
Welcome back. The big story we're tracking, the big political story of the hour is who will be the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Now, the Congress President, Mallikarjun Kharge, has met with both the top contenders. That's Mr. DK Shivkumar as well as Mr. Siddaramaiah. The news is that we could possibly, there'll be another round of meetings and then perhaps the decision will emerge later today or tomorrow morning. But what we're now hearing from sources is that DK Shivkumar very clearly told Mr. Kharge that he wants to be Chief Minister. Remember, this is something that both DKS as well as Siddaramaiah said to NDTV in interviews before the elections even took place. They both made it very clear they want to be Chief Minister should the Congress win. And now that the Congress has won, Mr. DK Shivkumar not backing down. Let's go across to Sunil Prabhu, in fact, to find out more about what transpired during that meeting. So, Sunil, what have we learned so far about these meetings held by Mr. Kharge?
Well, these are basically consultations which the Congress president is undertaking to find out and ascertain their views, how things can go forward, because both have staked claims. The observers have given their report based on a secret ballot, and ultimately all the factions of the Congress party have to work together to not only form a government and deliver on the promises that they have made and give good governance, but also deliver the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where the Congress will be contesting. It had been decimated to one seat in the last Lok Sabha election in 2019, and this time around, they would definitely like to see that they get a substantial, huge amount of numbers in this election.
Right. So, Sunil, for the moment, both the candidates really pushing their case with Mr. Kharge. So, it's a very delicate balancing act for the Congress, as you said, looking to 2024. also ensuring that there's, no sort of conflict in Karnataka, given this huge victory?
Yes, it is going to be a very difficult situation. It is going to be, something that both Rahul Gandhi as well as Mr. Karge will have to find a way forward and try to resolve this. As I said, I think the uppermost in the minds of the Congress High Command would be to deliver the 2024 election. And how do you placate a man like Mr. Shiv Kumar? He has, as he's been saying consistently to us, that he would like to, be rewarded for the hard work that he's put in terms of building the organization, in terms of getting the topmost job. On the other hand, you have had Mr. Siddaramaiah saying he has the numbers. He's been a popular figure. He's been twice, I think thrice, the Chief Minister of Karnataka. So that's going to be the big challenge. That's something that those aspirations, how they're going to meet both of them, because it would have been easy if Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar had backed down, but he's not backing down this time. He feels it is his time, and he's not giving up without a fight.
All right. Thanks so much, Sunil, for joining us. With that, we'll slip into a short break, but return with more news on this question of who will be the Karnataka Chief Minister. Stay with us.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं। मिस्टर प्रेसिडेंट, आपसे मिलकर बहुत खुशी होती है। डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना। अगर एक महिला शिक्षित होती है तो पूरा परिवार शिक्षित हो जाता है। विकास की खुशबू जन जन तक पहुंचेगी। आप सबको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं और आपका आशीर्वाद मांगता हूं। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, हम नए भारत को बनाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shobh, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Show, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
Let us begin the big fun.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Show, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential. Welcome back. You're watching Newsbreak with me, Sanket Upadhyay. These are pictures that you see on your screen right now of an exam after an exam for the Congress party. The first examination was, of course, the big electoral test in Karnataka, which the Congress party won. And won with flying colours, first-class distinction. But the next big test is to choose who is going to be the chief minister, because the Congress party is facing a similar problem all over again. It faced this problem in 2018 Rajasthan, it faced this problem in 2018 Chhattisgarh, and then 2018 Madhya Pradesh. We have seen that in all these three states, an unresolved leadership crisis has led to a problem. The Congress has been able to manage in one case, but struggling to manage in another, and lost the battle in the third, that is Madhya Pradesh. So in this state, Karnataka, how is the Congress going to pass, or the new president of the party going to pass this big test? I have with me Tanushree Pandey as well as Saurabh Shukla joining us from two significant locations. Tanushree, I believe, is tracking all the developments at DK Shivkumar's camp. She is where DK Shivkumar is presently stationed at his brother's residence. Saurabh Shukla is also with us. I would like to, Saurabh is actually at ITC Maurya tracking the other camp, which is Mr. Siddaramaiah. That's where he is stationed. So let me now come to you, Saurabh, first. Can you please tell us what exactly have you heard from your sources about the likely candidature or the elevation of Mr. Siddaramaiah? Is he a natural choice for the Congress party?
Sanket, when Siddaramaiah left from ITC Maurya at 6, he was quite confident. Before leaving ITC Maurya, he had met more than 20 MLAs from his camp. MLAs are coming to ITC Maurya, meeting him, and he is not interacting with media at all. He doesn't want to come to the media and say anything, and he don't want media to misinterpret whatever he says. So he is very quiet. He knows that he has support of more MLAs. He has support of more than 85 MLAs. He knows that party high command will favor him, as in 2013, Under his leadership, Congress got 122 seats and he became the chief minister, and he was the second chief minister of Karnataka to complete the full tenure. And after that, under his leadership, Congress lost also, but Congress was single largest party in Karnataka in 2018. Congress had got 103 seats. Later, they formed a government with the alliance with JDS, and then after that, we all know Operation Lotus there. So that is why Siddaramaiah is quiet. Siddaramaiah knows that he is in strong footing, but DK Shivkumar is more favored by Gandhi family. As in the afternoon, Siddaramaiah did speak when he reached residence of DK Suresh, where Tanushree is. He said that he is not going to resign from party post. He is loyal to Congress. He is not blackmailing. He is still trying to send that message that he is loyal. Siddaramaiah is quiet. Siddaramaiah knows that MLAs are in his favor, and party high command is also in his favor. In fact, the observers who are there in Karnataka, Sushil Kumar Shinde, Randeep Surjewala, they also got the report in favor of Siddaramaiah. That is why Siddaramaiah is absolutely quiet. He is not lobbying at all. He knows that he is in strong turf. But now, there is, I think, one more twist and turn still there in this whole picture. I don't think that this announcement is going to be today. I was speaking with the chief whip of Congress in Karnataka Assembly. He says that there is suspense, Mr. Shukla, because DK Shivkumar, when he had met Mr. Kharge, he has indicated that Siddaramaiah has joined Congress from JDS, and since that he was leader of opposition, then he was chief minister, and then again he was chief minister, then he was again leader of opposition. He is still leader of opposition. He has been in good party post. So he clearly, DK Shivkumar is not agreeing on the name of Siddaramaiah, though even if he has agreed, he is saying that I am not going to take any post in cabinet. I will work as an MLA and party president of the party. So clearly, High Command will not make DK Shivkumar angry, because Siddaramaiah has compromised a lot. In fact, he has faced ED charges against him. He was jailed. He was offered deputy CM post in Karnataka by BJP. His brother was offered cabinet seat in union government. He refused everything for party. So that loyalty is also there. And one last important significant point, Sanket, because in what happened in 2018 end, I was there at Rahul Gandhi's residence when that fight over Rajasthan CM-ship and Madhya Pradesh CM-ship was there. Scindia and Kamal Nath were called, and then one photo was released where Jyotiraditta Scindia, Kamal Nath and Rahul Gandhi were together holding hands. Another picture was also released where Ashok Gehlot, Sachin Pilot and Rahul Gandhi were there. But what happened after 1 year? So party also understand that they might do firefighting now, but what will happen in Lok Sabha election, because BJP had won 26 out of 28 seats. So they need to perform well if they want to
and obviously acknowledge the
anti-BJP
acknowledge the performance of these leaders. Yes, Tanushree Pandey is also with us, and she is tracking all the developments at Mr. DK Shivkumar's. Tanushree, as Saurabh was mentioning, you see, this is a problem the Congress faces state after state. And one state I forgot to mention, Punjab, where you saw this fight between Captain Amrinder Singh and Navjot Singh Sidhu. How that played out, we all know. So now, what are you hearing from sources on the demands that have been placed by DK Shivkumar? I believe that he has made his desire to be chief minister pretty clear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has made his desire, and he also pressed for his demand to get the top job in Karnataka absolutely clear in front of the top brass of the Congress party. And as Saurabh was mentioning, that when Siddaramaiah came out of the ITC Moria hotel where he's been staying, he was oozing out confidence. And I think that's common because even Mr. DK Shivkumar, when he came out, he looked very tired. He's not been keeping well physically, but he was oozing out confidence. And when we asked them, he in fact told all the media personnel very categorically that if any of you report that I'm going to resign from my post, I'm going to file a defamation suit, because these are all rumors. So that is how serious he is. And DK Shivkumar is somebody we have known him for a long time. He has an image of a man who always plays it from behind the scene. He works from behind the scene. But this time around, he's coming to the national capital. He's not letting it go off the coveted post in Karnataka itself. In a statement, is a statement in itself, Sanket, that he wants wants this job desperately. Also, because DK Shiv Kumar, I've spoken to his brother DK Suresh, also many MLAs who have been supporting him openly, and they told me, as Saurabh was rightly mentioning, that he is one person who has built the army of workers for the Congress party from the absolute scratch. Even when he was offered a job to be the deputy chief minister by the BJP, in his own words, he denied those jobs. So loyalty is something DK Shiv Kumar is massively banking on. He knows that he's not a mass leader as Siddaramaiah is. He knows he might be losing, the backing of some people in the Gandhi family, also some people in the top brass of the Congress party. But something he's massively banking on is the loyalty. He has already been making statements like, I have been with the Congress party through its thick and thin. I have not given in to the pressures of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I am the rightful contender for this job. So definitely DK Shiv Kumar is not letting it go that easily. He is not going to take it lying down without giving a
Let me ask this all-important question to you. Yeah, one moment. Tanushree as well as Saurabh. Let me ask this one question. Now, if, say, for instance, the Congress party does decide and decides against this demand of Mr. DK Shiv Kumar, would he go so far as doing a Sachin pilot or you can Jyotiraditya Scindia, you can take your pick. I mean, what are you hearing? Because if that doesn't happen, then there is no crisis. All you will have will be a sulking leader.
Yes, but also, Sanket, that a sulking leader is what the Congress party cannot afford at this point of time, because as you rightly said, that they have already passed one exam with flying colours. There was a clean sweep in Karnataka that was very difficult to do in front of the Bharatiya Janata Party with such a strong, strong foot in the state of Karnataka. But they did it, and now having a sulking leader, that too somebody as strong as DK Shiv Kumar, is something the Congress party is not willing to afford at this point of time. We will be getting ahead of ourselves if we say that DK Shiv Kumar might pull off a Jyotiraditya Scindia or a Sachin pilot, but he definitely will be extremely upset if the Congress party doesn't give him his due, and especially after he was offered, and it's out in the open. He already said it in the media a lot of time that he was offered the position of Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka by the BJP, but he still did not give in to the pressures of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, when it's due, if the Congress doesn't give him the coveted post, the chief ministership of Karnataka, even if he doesn't pull off a Sachin pilot or a Jyotiraditya Scindia, he's going to be extremely upset, and he might just show his rebellion out in the open.
One final question to Saurabh Shukla. Saurabh, individuals in their individual capacity can have a lot of aspirations, and they can desire and expect to the moon and back, right? But then practicality of an organization dictates a number of things. So what are you hearing from the Congress party as far as that practicality is concerned? I mean, is it perhaps just the personal ambition of Mr. DK Shiv Kumar, or a feeling also within the Congress that yes, his time has come and we should replace a Siddaramaiah, a natural choice, with DK Shiv Kumar?
Absolutely. I'll answer this question. Out of my experience, we all know that Karnataka's Bharat Jodo Yatra in Karnataka was very successful, and a lot of these leaders who were part of that Bharat Jodo Yatra, I had interacted with them during when I was covering Bharat Jodo Yatra, and people were speaking about Karnataka and Congress's prospects related to Karnataka, and then a lot of leaders who are in Delhi, they replied saying that, Saurabh, we think that DK Shiv Kumar is very important, very popular there in Karnataka, which is true. But when we were in Karnataka, we came to know that DK Shiv Kumar is important, popular, but Siddaramaiah is much more popular than DK Shiv Kumar. So Siddaramaiah's PR has not been that great in Delhi. That's what I think. And definitely Siddaramaiah has support of more MLAs than DK Shiv Kumar. His media management in Delhi, I think, is not that great. But when I was speaking with the MLAs here who definitely were here to meet Siddaramaiah, they are in Siddaramaiah's camp, they are saying that Siddaramaiah locally is very, very, very popular. That is why the observers who were there in Karnataka to get that report, Sushil Kumar Shinde, Randeep Surjewala, so that is in favor of Siddaramaiah. And one last and very important point, one of my close source who is co-in charge in Karnataka, was handling a lot of seats in more than 30 seats in Karnataka. He is from Delhi, and he said that when I was going from Delhi to Karnataka, I thought DK Shivkumar is the boss. But when I reached there, I discovered that Siddaramaiah is also very, very popular. His connect with Karyakartas are good. Locally is very important, but his PR in Delhi is bad. So I think that says a lot.
All right, some visuals coming in at this moment. Saurabh Shukla, maybe you can talk about them. Let's play out those pictures. Siddaramaiah has just left Mallikarjun Kharge's residence after a very important and significant meeting. This was these are the pictures of when the meeting began. So Saurabh, are we to assume now, these are the pictures on your screen right now, the window completely rolled up? He's not rolling them down. Usually, while the election campaigning is on, the politicians like to keep their window down so that they can talk and converse. The exact opposite is happening right now. Saurabh Shukla, the first meeting over, demands placed by DK Shivkumar. The second meeting is now also over. How likely is it for us to get a decision from the Congress High Command tonight?
Was last time in Rajasthan, and when we talk about Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, it was decided and press conference was held in AICC office. So I don't think that is going to happen today. I think whatever the decision will be, it will be announced in Karnataka, because Congress kept their Karnataka campaign very local. So I think Siddaramaiah will reach here in some time from now. I think Rajaji Marg is almost 5 minutes away from here. So I think Siddaramaiah did not speak after meeting Kharge. And when DK Shivkumar left Kharge's residence, he was also very quiet. So I think party high command advised both of the leaders not to speak anything to the media, let media speculate. So in fact, in the afternoon, when I was talking to the leaders of Congress, who I know, they said that today that will be decided, and I think, and they all are confident that Siddaramaiah is the front runner, and Siddaramaiah will likely to be the Chief Minister of Karnataka. But after DK Shivkumar's meeting with Kharge, I think something has changed, but we have to wait and watch. We can't say anything more. I think DK Shivkumar has also indicated that if he is not going to be the Chief Minister, then Siddaramaiah should also not become the Chief Minister. He is okay with the third name. So is there going, is there
one really
a new
wonders
twist in
where
the story?
has
We
all
don't
the
know.
bonhomie
But
gone? Pre-election, the pinning of the badge, the liking one another, interviewing one another, inquiring about the hand injury. Where has all that bonhomie gone post-verdict? That is such a significant question that needs to be answered. Ankit Tyagi is now also with us from outside Mallikarjun Kharge's residence, where this meeting has just ended. Ankit, what are you hearing?
A 45-minute meeting with DK Shivkumar and our 25 minutes long meeting with Mr. Siddaramaiah. One interesting thing, Sanket, when Siddaramaiah, who came in a convoy, there were cars of the MLA supporting him, along with him as well. Though the meeting with Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge was one-on-one, but when he came out, those accompanying him were very jovial and, in fact, giving us a victory sign. Does that tell you anything about what happened inside? We can't say for certainty. But like you were asking the question, where did the bonhomie went? The fact is, Sanket, that at least this time, credit goes to the Congress party that despite the ambitions and the differences between both these leaders, the election campaign was such, it was a do-or-die battle, that they decided that no matter what happens, all this will be decided post-election, pre-election. At least we have to, come together and present a united front. Now, with what Saurabh was saying, this is what Mr. DK Shivkumar's aides are, in fact, telling us, sources are telling us that he will agree to a third chief minister. In fact, remember, it's what Mr. DK Shivkumar, who had said during the campaign that if Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge becomes the chief minister, he has no problem working under him. But the fact remains, Sanket, the Congress will also at this moment will have to keep in consideration the 90 MLAs, those who have supported A, Mr. Siddaramaiah, and B, they don't want two poles pulling the government apart when there is a chief minister who is not from Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar, who's not D.K. Shiv Kumar or Mr. Siddaramaiah. That will actually make the functioning of the government much more difficult than either of them being in fact made the chief minister and the other also eventually given things to compensate or at least things to calm him down till the time the elections of 2024 take place. So this will be very, very important. I don't think at this moment, despite all the conundrums, that there is scope for a third leader. It is either going to be D.K. Shiv Kumar or Mr. Siddaramaiah, but there has to be a formula. What can D.K. Shiv Kumar get at this moment? What can he ask the party high command at this moment that will satisfy him if it is not the post of the chief minister? That's the key question.
Okay, do stay on with us, Ankit. I'm going to take a short break at this moment, Ankit as well as Saurabh Shukla. And we'll ask you the all-important question. Number one, how long are you going to be stationed at those places? And secondly, can we expect a decision tonight or will this spill over to tomorrow? Back in a moment.
Chopra. And I'm Sneha Menon Desai for Film Companion. And we're going to be reporting for NDTV from the 76th Festival de Cannes. Gear up for a week filled with premieres, parties, exclusive interviews, red carpet fashion and some headline-grabbing drama. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan will be there, so will Sara Ali Khan and Sunny Leone, and Harrison Ford and Johnny Depp. In the coming week, the tiny French town of Cannes will once again transform into the world's cinema capital. Watch us on NDTV every day as we bring you highlights from the world's biggest film festival. Stay tuned.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with
Welcome back. Let's quickly go back to Ankit. So Ankit, the all-important question, is the decision likely today?
You know, Sanket, I think in the morning, the Congress party was quite confident that by the evening today, they would have an answer to Kaun Banega Mukhyamantri of Karnataka. I think after meeting D.K. Shiv Kumar, there has to be some recalibration which is going on as far as the formula is concerned. A very long meeting took place with Mr. Siddaramaiah. That does mean that at least whatever Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar might have expressed in front of Mallikarjun Kharge, that has been told to D.K. Shiv Kumar, to Siddaramaiah as well. And what kind of an accommodation of Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar's aspirations can now be conducted, that's going to be important. Another aspect which possibly tells us that the decision announcement might not take place today is absence of Sonia Gandhi, because D.K. Shiv Kumar made this very, very clear that whatever the formula is, whatever the agreement is, that has to be in front of Sonia Gandhi, because she's the only leader, largely that he trusts as far as the Congress is concerned. So he wants that moral pressure on Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and Mr. Siddaramaiah when the final decision is taken. So 18th is when we are looking at a swearing-in ceremony. Congress doesn't have much time in that aspect. So it likely is going to be late today or maybe tomorrow as far as the decision is concerned, Sanket.
Ankit Tyagi, many thanks for joining us with all the latest. Short break at this moment. News continues on the other side. Stay with us.
Brought to you by...
A glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat. We were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
Anupama Chopra. And I'm Sneha Menon Desai for Film Companion. And we're going to be reporting for NDTV from the 76th Festival Deccan. Gear up for a week filled with premieres, parties, exclusive interviews, red carpet fashion and some headline-grabbing drama. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan will be there, so will Sara Ali Khan and Sunny Leone, and Harrison Ford and Johnny Depp. In the coming week, the tiny French town of Cannes will once again transform into the world's cinema capital. Watch us on NDTV every day as we bring you highlights from the world's biggest film festival. Stay tuned.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया।
So let us begin the big fight.
Anupama Chopra. And I'm Sneha Menon Desai for Film Companion. And we're going to be reporting for NDTV from the 76th Festival Deccan. Gear up for a week filled with premieres, parties, exclusive interviews, red carpet fashion and some headline-grabbing drama. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan will be there, so will Sara Ali Khan and Sunny Leone, and Harrison Ford and Johnny Depp. In the coming week, the tiny French town of Cannes will once again transform into the world's cinema capital. Watch us on NDTV every day as we bring you highlights from the world's biggest film festival. Stay tuned.
NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story. India is closely watching it. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
When a glimmer of hope gave way to a new global threat, we were there. As our soldiers squared off against a hostile neighbor for yet another freezing winter, we were there. When brutality overwhelmed justice and a mockery was made of the rule of law, we were there. When the death of our first Chief of Defence Staff united our nation, we were there. Hope, justice, the truth. Left, right and centre with me, Vishnu Shom, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Debates are essential not just for journalism, but for human.
Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. Well, the Congress president has just finished meeting Siddaramaiah. He met DK Shivkumar earlier this evening. Rahul Gandhi met Kharge earlier today. He's apparently backing Siddaramaiah. But Team DK says he wasn't told that Siddaramaiah will be chief minister by Mallikarjun Kharge. In fact, DK Shivkumar told Kharge he wants to be chief minister and the reasons why. The new parliament's symbolic inauguration will coincide with the 9-year celebrations of the Modi government. The grand parliament opening is planned for 9-year celebrations. This as with the countdown to 9-year celebrations, 71,000 appointment letters for government jobs distributed virtually today by the Prime Minister. India's biggest ever drug haul off the Kochi coast. Over 2,500 kilos of drugs found, valued at 15,000 crores. This included huge quantities of methamphetamine and heroin seized in bags labelled basmati rice. India is now planning to do quality checks on all medicines meant for export. The quality check coming after complaints of lapses from countries and the WHO raising alarms. The quality test will be for all Indian-made medicines being sent abroad. The monsoon will be delayed slightly this year, says the Weather Department. The monsoon is now likely to hit the Kerala coast on the 4th of June. A new mobile tracking facility launched by the government today. If you've lost your mobile or had it stolen, here's how to find it. Artificial sweeteners, the bitter truth. It won't help you lose weight. Instead, cut the quantity of sugar. Using artificial sweeteners can cause diabetes and heart disease, says the World Health Organization. And when superstar Shah Rukh Khan played a supporting role, he reveals all in a coffee table book launching on how Gauri Khan became a designer. Our lead story breaking tonight. Well, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has just finished meeting with the two chief minister hopefuls of Karnataka. Mr. Siddaramaiah just left a few moments ago. Earlier, it was DK Shivkumar. Let's go across to you first. Ankit, tracking all the developments at Mr. Kharge's residence. What's the latest?
Sonia, let me bring you up to speed with the latest piece of information that we are getting at this moment. No announcement on the name of the Chief Minister today. That is what the sources in the Congress party has confirmed to us. We have been told that the announcement will take place tomorrow. The party is still thinking whether it should be in Delhi or the announcement should be made in Bengaluru. That's what the party is still thinking. Now, to the next important thing, who could be the Chief Minister of Karnataka? At least officially no name will be announced tomorrow, but important leads coming in Observers have told Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge that Mr. Siddaramaiah enjoys the maximum support as far as the MLAs are concerned. But Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar is not giving up his claim. In fact, in a meeting which lasted between Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge for 45 minutes, Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar is believed to have told the party president that if he's not made the chief minister, he's okay with the third choice, but not Mr. Siddaramaiah, who has always been powerful in the party ever since he has come into the party fold, becoming the chief minister and also the leader of opposition. Meanwhile, Mr. Siddaramaiah's and Mr. Kharge's meeting went on for more than 1 hour 25 minutes. It was a very long meeting. There were a few MLAs, those who had also come here with Mr. Siddaramaiah, but it was a one-on-one meeting with the party president, who hails from Karnataka, understands the caste dynamics and the equations as far as the leaders are concerned. I'm also being told by party sources that there is at this moment, despite a letter being written by the Lingayat community demanding a chief minister from their party, some supporters of G. Parmeshwara wanting him to be the chief minister, only two names in contention, that is D.K. Shiv Kumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah. The party top brass also has expressed, there was a meeting of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, K.C. Venugopal at this residence of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge in the afternoon as well. They also seem to have gone with the theory that whosoever has the maximum numbers should be made the chief minister. But what could be that formula where D.K. Shiv Kumar is not left unhappy? That is something that Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is now trying to find out.
Right, and in fact, it's interesting. You look at those pictures on the screen right now. It really is the Congress's three tallest Karnataka leaders. So in that sense, Mr. Kharge having much more political clout because, of course, besides being the Congress president, he's also from Karnataka, so he knows the state intimately. But DKS, the youngest there at 61, showing that he doesn't want to wait and he feels the time for that generational change in the Congress is now. So Sunil, over to you, because of course you got that big exclusive with DK Shiv Kumar yesterday, where he made his displeasure very clear, at first saying he's not coming to Delhi, then coming tonight, coming today, and making it very clear to Mr. Kharge that he's not willing to just let it be handed over to Mr. Siddaramaiah. So this option that Ankit is saying, that he's saying anyone else against Siddaramaiah, except Siddaramaiah as chief minister, is that a possible alternative, that it will be a third candidate, or as Ankit saying, it's just these two and the Congress High Command will decide?
Well, I think, Sonia, firstly, I must say I spoke to the observers and they are quite clear. One, that they have that Mr. Siddaramaiah may have the numbers, but Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar is not giving up without a fight. He's quite categorical. He's worked hard for the party, and it's his time now to be rewarded. About a third option, he has not said that. He's still very determined that's only him that should be rewarded, and within the rank and file in Karnataka, most of those Congress workers have been quite categorical that he should be given that job. About that decision, to be taken and the announcement, please remember it is the Congress Legislative Party which will formally, have a meeting and unanimously decide who the Chief Minister will be. Of course, it will be cleared by the Congress High Command, and the observers as well as the General Secretary in charge will be there present when this announcement will take place. It all depends whether Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar relents. At this present juncture, as of 8 o'clock, he hasn't still given up, and he will continue to contest for that top post. Numbers
but
or no
just
numbers.
Take that point, when you're saying that you spoke to observers and the majority of the MLAs are with Mr. Siddaramaiah, then on what basis can Mr. Shiv Kumar say that he should be chief minister? In fact, it's interesting because that's the argument in Rajasthan also, right? Because where Mr. Gehlot said that the MLAs are with me, why should a younger challenger get the top post? So on what basis is Mr. Shiv Kumar claiming top post if the majority of MLAs are with Mr. Siddaramaiah?
Well, it's more complex than that because here you have the numbers, and there have been various occasions in the Congress party where even if you don't have the numbers, the High Command, especially when you have a massive mandate, can look at a long run. Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar has been saying that he brought the party to power. He's worked tirelessly and been working day and night to bring the party to where it is. And he believes that somewhere down the line, the party needs to reward him. Numbers or no numbers, and these numbers, if you've seen the dossier that they have given to the Congress High Command, they have put their view across. Yes, Mr. Siddaramaiah has been more popular. Everybody concedes that. He's been a person who has been requested to, campaign across the state. But at this present juncture, they want to really find a way forward, and that will be really requires Mr. DK Shivkumar to relent, because they can't go ahead with this decision with him, not agreeing to this current formula, Deputy Chief Minister or not, and then whatever the plum portfolios that he gets. These are issues that have to be, put in perspective. Just to make one more point clear, there are only two of them. No other people who are in the contest for the top job, and we'll have to wait and see how they, accommodate the Lingayats, the Dalits, the various other factions within Karnataka, who all have to be represented in that state if they have to be in the reckoning for the 2024, because that's the uppermost thing in the Congress leadership's mind, to go from one to a much more respectable figure, because there are 28 Lok Sabha seats which are in contest in the
key for 2024. So I want to bring Ankit in on that, because Ankit, of course, really when we're talking about the High Command, now that is slightly larger than it normally is, because of course you've got Mr. Kharge as a Congress president carrying a lot of weight because it's his home state. He's a stalwart here, knows the state like the back of his hand. You also have Rahul Gandhi and his advisors and the key strategists also who helped them in the elections. And you also have Sonia Gandhi. And you notice that DK Shivkumar has kept taking her name, that Sonia Gandhi I promised Sonia Gandhi, this win is for Sonia Gandhi. So what is and Randeep Surjewala, of course, the General Secretary of the state, with his opinion. So what are the various views being formed? And obviously the Congress making very clear they want a consensus. They're saying it's only been 2 days. So, many parties have taken much longer. There's no hurry, but we want a consensus on the next chief minister.
I think that's very important for the Congress party to send across a message that everybody is on board. They do not want, after a massive mandate, already murmurs about the dissent in the Congress party, as you were talking about the Congress leadership as well. And this tells you how complex this entire exercise is, because even within the top brass of the Congress party, what sources are telling us that Mr. Rahul Gandhi and KC Venugopal did reiterate in the meeting with Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge that the norm is that whosoever has the maximum support of the MLA should be made the chief minister, and they were indicating or leaning towards Mr. Siddaramaiah. Meanwhile, the Congress president himself enjoys a much better relationship as far as DK Shivkumar is concerned. So that consideration, his relationship with Siddaramaiah, because remember, both of them at one point of time were contemporaries, were competitors for the top job in Karnataka, and it was at one juncture in 2013 that Mr. Siddaramaiah edged Mr. Kharge out of that race of the chief ministership. Meanwhile, Sonia Gandhi is seen as somebody who has a real liking as far as the functioning and the way Mr. DK Shivkumar has worked. Mr. Shivkumar keeps talking about the blessing that he has of Ms. Sonia Gandhi. So all those factors will be taken in account. Randeep Singh Surjewala, we have been told in a meeting when he was asked, has so far not put his stamp of approval or weight behind either Mr. Shivkumar or Mr. Siddaramaiah. He stands neutral as far as the Congress's leadership is concerned. So within the Congress leadership as well, there are divergent views, and now the party and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, that is where his job is, slightly difficult and the task cut out. He has to manage and find a balance between the aspirations and, of course, the most immediate factor, the future of the Congress party in the state of Karnataka. As Sunil was saying, the 6th largest chunk of the Lok Sabha votes come from Karnataka, where Congress only has one sitting MP. That is the brother of Mr. DK Shivkumar.
Right. Thanks so much, Ankit. Sunil, we'll keep tracking that story on who will be chief minister. Well, it's probably the Congress is happy they're in a position to choose the chief minister, but the BJP, of course, making the point that look at the confusion within the Congress saying that's okay, and pointing to other states where the BJP faced the same. Meanwhile, the BJP's big focus now is on how to make the 9-year celebrations of the Modi government as grand and impactful as possible. So here's the big reveal that India's new parliament building will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister to coincide with the 9th anniversary. This will be a symbolic inauguration. The actual parliament will open for business only in a later session this year. Also today, the Prime Minister virtually distributed appointment letters for government jobs of 71,000 jobs, again coinciding with the date of the poll victory of the Modi government 9 years ago.
The 9-year celebrations of Modi government are expected to begin with a bang. India's new parliament building built at a cost of 970 crore rupees, is almost ready and is likely to be symbolically inaugurated later this month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The building is likely to be used only in a few months. Apart from new projects, the 9-year celebrations are also focusing on old promises, including the emotive issue of government jobs for youth.
3-4 वर्षों में ही भारत में 80,000 करोड़ रुपए के सामान का एक्सपोर्ट करने लगेगी। हमारे जो युवा लॉजिस्टिक्स और सप्लाई चेन सेक्टर में काम करना चाहते हैं, ये इनके लिए बहुत बड़ी खबर है। सिस्को के सीईओ ने भी अपनी भारत यात्रा के दौरान मुझे बताया कि वो भारत में बने 8,000 करोड़ रुपए के प्रोडक्ट्स के एक्सपोर्ट का लक्ष्य लेकर चल रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister will also launch a month-long contact program starting May 30th with 2 back-to-back rallies. Public meetings by BJP ministers and MPs will then be held in 396 Lok Sabha seats. With Megha Prasad, Sneha Koshri for NDTV.
Well, the other big headline, the biggest ever narcotics drug seizure in the country, has all the makings of a spy thriller. A 3-month operation with actionable intelligence inputs and multiple agencies. Teams that stayed at sea for 40 days to track down a mothership which was carrying over 2,500 kilos of drugs. The value estimate, 15,000 crores.
134 bags containing 2,525 kg of methamphetamine has been seized in a joint operation of the Narcotics Control Bureau and Indian Navy from a mothership off the Kochi coast on Saturday. This is the biggest narcotic drug seizure in India. The highly addictive recreational drug is said to be in its purest crystal form and has been valued at 15,000 crore rupees.
पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है कि हमने मदरशिप को पकड़ा है और मदरशिप बिकॉज़ ये मदरशिप जो है वो बहुत बड़ा लोड लेकर ड्रग का लोड लेकर चलती है। तो करीब 2 टन 3 टन 4 टन ड्रग निकलता है।
A 29-year-old Pakistani national suspected to be part of Pakistan's notorious Haji Salim drug cartel has been arrested. The contraband was meant for supply to India, Sri Lanka, Maldives and possibly even Australia. This is the third major seizure after the launch of Operation Samudragupta in January 2022 to combat narcotic drug smuggling over the Indian Ocean region that poses a national threat, as well as drug money is known to fund agencies like ISI and terror activities. The danger originates in the Golden Crescent, also called the Danger Crescent, Iran, Afghanistan and Pakistan, from where through maritime and other routes the drug comes to India. The coast of Tamil Nadu and Kerala particularly vulnerable, from where it can move to Sri Lanka and Maldives and then the rest of the world. The modus operandi is that drugs are manufactured in Afghanistan and brought to Pakistan and are subsequently loaded from ports of Pakistan or Iran. So far, 3,200 kg of methamphetamine, 500 kg of heroin, 529 kg of hashish valued at over 40,000 crore rupees has been seized. As part of India's leadership in maritime security of region, intelligence inputs shared with Sri Lanka and Maldives have also resulted in seizures. With Mukesh Singh Singar, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
In other news, the centre is now planning to check all India-made medicines before export. There will be a quality check for privately manufactured indigenous drugs. This comes after a series of recent incidents. In October last year, when an India-made cough syrup was linked to 70 deaths of children in Gambia, the WHO flagged this as well. And then Uzbekistan in December, linking deaths of 17 children with Indian cough syrup. In February this year, a US study claimed that an Indian-made eye drop had caused a bacterial outbreak which had led to some deaths as well. After this, the centre planning tough new measures which will change drug regulation in India. Well, one of the other stories trending today is the new World Health Organization's warning against artificial sweeteners. They say don't use it to diet, just cut the quantity of sugar, use instead, because these artificial sweeteners come with health risks.
Consumers who opt for diet products such as sugar-free sodas might not be doing themselves any favors, according to the latest guidelines published by the World Health Organization. These alternatives to sugar, when consumed long-term, do not serve to reduce body fat in either adults or children, the WHO has said in a recommendation, adding that continued consumption could increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and mortality in adults. It recommends that people avoid non-sugar sweeteners like aspartame or stevia to lose weight or prevent diet-related diseases such as type 2 diabetes. Instead, they should consider eating foods with naturally occurring sugars such as fruit, as well as unsweetened foods and drinks, is what the WHO has emphasized. They've also added that the recommendation is based on long-term observational studies which found that people who consume sugar alternatives were at higher risk of obesity and cardiovascular diseases. But it's crucial to note, however, the World Health Organization also noted that in short-term randomized clinical trials, sweeteners were linked to weight loss when compared with people consuming sugar. The recommendation came with a caveat that it was based on a low level of certainty. One possible confounding effect could be that people who eat and drink food products that contain sweeteners could be more at risk for obesity or diabetes in the first place and be using them to control their weight gain. However, the WHO has also noted that studies continue to find a link between non-sugar sweeteners and negative health effects, even when controlling for this possibility. On the flip side, though, there are many who argue that if you look at what's driving chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, sugar is not always the only factor. The WHO therefore says its recommendation is currently considered conditional. But how does this directly impact us? Well, the recommendation from the WHO does not directly affect any individual country's policy. The US Food and Drug Administration, for example, might take this guidance into account and institute its own concerns or tweak labeling. But under no circumstance is it an obligation to do so. Also, this recommendation doesn't extend as far as personal care and hygiene products that include artificial sugars are concerned. This could be toothpaste, skin creams, or even medication. It also doesn't include low-calorie sugars and sugar alcohols, which, as you know, come from sugar itself. But relying on the latest guidelines published by the World Health Organization, you might want to rethink that diet soda.
Well, a quick look at other news. The Weather Department has said that the monsoon onset in Kerala will be slightly delayed. The forecast suggests that now the monsoon will hit the coast of Kerala on the 4th of June instead of the 31st of May or 1st June, which is its normal arrival date, with a possible error of around 4 days. Today, India has launched its pilot project on how to track lost or stolen mobiles. It was launched by the Telecom Minister and it's finally ready to be rolled out. Arun has the details.
No more lost or stolen phones. At least that's what the claim is. The government is bringing a pan-India mobile tracking system which is called CEIR. But what is it? How will it work? In this video in just a minute. CEIR is Central Equipment Identity Register. The system is being rolled out from May 17th. Center for Department of Telematics, that's CDOT, is launching it and is already successful in pilot stages in regions like Delhi, Maharashtra, Karnataka and the Northeast. Now, how does it work? The government has made it mandatory to disclose IMEI of mobile devices before their sale in India. IMEI is a 15-digit unique numeric identifier of mobile devices. Now, once a phone goes missing or is stolen, CEIR will be able to track via IMEI number. Now, when you report your phone missing, CEIR will block your IMEI to be used by another number that is not linked to your IMEI number. Another common practice is that miscreants change IMEI number of stolen mobile phones, which prevents tracking and blocking of such handsets. But now CEIR will be able to block any cloned mobile phones on the network with the help of various databases, said Rajkumar Upadhyay, who is CDOT CEO. Now, the system has been designed to discourage mobile phone theft. Recently, Karnataka police recovered and handed over more than 2,500 lost mobile phones to their owners using the CEIR system.
And as we end tonight, here's the untold story of Shah Rukh and Gauri Khan's dream home Mannat. It's rare for superstar Shah Rukh to play a supporting role, but here he was a perfect husband at the launch of Gauri Khan's coffee table book on how she became a designer. And here's how it all started.
Reminiscing over 30-year-old journey of togetherness, King of Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan, was all praise for his wife Gauri Khan at her book, My Life in Design in Mumbai.
I think Gauri started mid-40s. 40, okay, only 40. She's 37 now. In our family, we age backwards. And she worked it all out on her own and continued doing what she does. And when I asked her now, years later, because she is genuinely the busiest person in the house now.
One of Mumbai's most famous landmarks, Mannat, Gauri and Shah Rukh Khan's sprawling bungalow, has a fascinating backstory of how it was purchased and designed.
We had not too much money, so as soon as we mustered up some money, we said we'll go and buy this bungalow. And then we didn't have money to furnish it. And of course we called one designer. The lunch that he served us, telling us how he'll design this house, was way more than the salary I used to earn in a month. And then the only person to turn was, I said, listen Gauri, you have little artistic talent, why don't you become the designer of the house? So actually Mannat started like that. So whatever little monies we earned over years, we kept on buying small things.
Mannat is a mix of both vintage and classic. A 6-story mansion that is spread across 27,000 square feet. Shah Rukh Khan purchased it for 13 crore rupees in 2001. Its current evaluation stands at 200 crore rupees.
Home design should be a reflection of the people living in it.
While Gauri Khan's first big project, designing her own home, Mannat, took her a decade, she later designed homes for stars like Ranbir Kapoor, Karan Johar, Alia Bhatt and many others. With Divya Vadhwa, Sneha Koshi for NDTV.